Hello and welcome back to the Late Winner FPL Show segment. Welcome to Rishabh and Saurabh. Welcome back. How are you feeling after the international break? All decided with the wildcard substitutions which you want to make?
Not yet. I'm definitely taking a wild card for my team. That is for sure. But still, there are a couple of international matches that is about to take place tomorrow as well. So just waiting until tomorrow, then I'll start playing around with my team, and hopefully, I don't know. We'll be discussing about the FPL team from the late winner show also. If we want to take a wild card or not. Me and Roll are of the opinion that we should. Rishabh, as usual, differs to our opinion. So
No, I think I told you guys, right? Like, I think we need to make a lot of major fixes in our team. I think Mahrez, Simicas, all these people need to go. Ings, I think Ings also is there in our team. So I think
I
we need
think
to
the
make those
message did not
fixes.
reach to me. So yeah,
I told you day before yesterday, man.
okay.
So before we move forward with the watch list video for this week, I would like to remind everyone to please like, share, and subscribe to our videos and follow us on the social media handles for which you can find the links in the description below. So let's start with the watch list, guys. The so what we want to talk about is the players which I think who have one of the have the easiest fixtures of the lots. So that is some of the players which we want to focus on for this players who definitely should be in the watch list or could actually also become the differential players for the next 5 game weeks for everyone, I believe. So the first one which you have is over here is Dominic Calvert-Lewin from Everton. Everton actually has a pretty easy round of fixtures in the next 5. If you look at it, they face Burnley at home, then they have away game with Aston Villa, and then they play Norwich at home, then United away, and then West Ham home. Of all the fixtures, obviously United might be the toughest, but looking at the fixture, I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin actually has an opportunity to score in all of those games, and he actually has scored in all in the previous fixtures as well. So I think he started strong in this league, and I think FPL perspective wise also you can see that his price has already gone from 8.8 to 8.2, and still a pretty fairly a low ownership percentage, which I think 15.1 should is not doing justice enough for him. And with the inclusion of Ronaldo now into the squad, I think his ownership should remain constant at I think around 15%, or maybe even drop a little bit more, because people I'm pretty confident, like people like Rishabh, me, and Saurabh all want to include Ronaldo right now in the team. So, and with his price tag being 12.5, I think it's a I think we all expected it to be a little bit higher, but now it feels sort of a bargain for us. So most likely we'll be having him in the team. So if you want to, if you don't want to have Ronaldo in your team and your or any other player for that matter, I mean, I think Calvert-Lewin is one of the few picks which actually should be um, a very differential pick, as well as a player who could actually create a lot of damage, because I think Everton have started strong in the league and they've been playing really well in the few matches which we've seen so far. Now talking about the next player, we have Adam Traore. So Rishabh, you want to talk about him?
Yeah, I think you can see, like, his goals and assists are obviously zero, but we all know like how Wolves are playing in the last 3 games against Leicester, Tottenham, and United. I think they created about 57 chances in total in those 3 games. I think something like that. So there's a lot of chances that have been created by Wolves, but obviously to no avail. Zero goals, nothing has been created. But you can see like the XG for Traore is about 1.53, and we're going to talk about another Wolves player that we should be targeting. You see the fixtures, everything is green. Watford, Brentford, Southampton, Newcastle, Aston Villa. Even like we don't even know right now. Aston Villa have a tough run of fixtures. I don't really know how Dean Smith is going to play his team, and how is he going to be able to gel the team in those tricky run of fixtures. Even so, we don't know, like that Aston Villa fixture might come as a as a game where Wolves might win. These 4 upcoming games against Watford, Brenton, Southampton, Newcastle, I think those are definitely the ones that we should be keeping an eye on Traore, Jimenez, and all these other players in Wolves. Even the defense, I think there's capacity of a bunch of clean sheets in those games. So easy, very easy run of fixtures for me. I think chances created and goal attempts speak for themselves for Wolves. Even the ownership, if you see, it's only 2.7% for Traore. I think somebody's looking for a midfielder, because obviously, as Roel mentioned, like now the focus is probably going to be on the attacking side. I think for the better part of 2 years, I think our main focus was on the midfield, because we never got any options in the high price bracket of the striker positions, forward positions. So if anybody is looking to get that 6.5 million price midfielder, Traore is the one to go.
Yeah, and I think the next player which we have right now over here is 𝗕𝗲𝗓𝗧𝗓. So again a great player. I think he's a fantastic catch in the squad right now. And right now I think he has had a couple of good games. So he's scored two goals. He's had 4 chances created. He has had 4 goal attempts. So I think he's really gelling well with the team right now, and I think he could actually be of a great advantage to the squad right now with Everton. I think 𝗕𝗲𝗓𝗧𝗓 is something we should look out for in the future as well. And I think, yeah, like I
I
mentioned, I don't.
Go ahead.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
No, I just have a different opinion on 𝗕𝗲𝗓𝗧𝗓. I think, yeah, he scored 2 goals, but I have not really been impressed with Leicester. Everton as of now. Like they've they have a Burnley, Aston Villa, Norwich, but even United, West Ham are tricky games. Aston Villa itself also is it's a tricky game. I know, like how what's his name, the Everton manager, if I'm forgetting his name, Rafa Benitez. So he sets up his he'll set up his team in a very defensive structure. Yes, and that might give options to these attacking options in Everton. But I'm not very convinced about 𝗕𝗲𝗓𝗧𝗓. Even if you see his XG, it's not very high. It's 0.2. It's not that much. And even if you see the goal attempts and chances created, it's not that much. Like where I'm convinced, where I would take out a 0.4 somewhere in my team and go for a Traore rather than going for a 𝗕𝗲𝗓𝗓𝗓
But
option.
but I've actually had the opportunity to look at his heat map as well in the past, and
Hmm.
looking at that, I think he plays a lot up front, so there are chances for him to score as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
So that's something which we should consider for now.
Definitely.
sure.
And
Just like we all know that Richarlison and Daniel Calvert-Lewin is already there, but and that prohibits his chances of scoring. But what I've seen in a couple of games from 𝗕𝗲𝗓𝗓𝗓 is that he likes to take the ball himself and go forward. He actually can dribble through players, but with DCL and Richarlison being there, that definitely cuts down his opportunities of attempting a shot or scoring also. But if you see, the conversion rate is pretty good, 50%, although very less number of attempts. But still, 2 goals in 3 games is not a bad start.
yeah, and so the next actually the other player which we actually wanted have on the in the watch list is a Bulls player. I think because looking at Bulls fixture, I think it's important to know that they don't have a lot of tough fixtures coming up right now, and looking at the opponents as well. I mean, they are not performing really well in the defensive departments, so they are the teams actually leaking goals, and I think Jimenez's maybe his value has dropped because obviously he's not Wolves is not giving you the goals, and his price tag is fairly high for a 7.5 player to not give goals in the first 3 fixtures itself. So you'll
Correct.
definitely see a lot of people not selecting him in the squad on a regular basis right now. But he could actually prove to be a very big differential in the coming weeks, because it's just a matter of time for Wolves right now that they can actually score and move into the plus into the scoring sheets right now. It's just a matter of time, and I think not just like Traore. I think don't have a lot to add on this part right now, because I mean, like Risha mentioned, they had like 57 chances created itself. So I think all the numbers speak for itself. It's just about like the damn luck changing for Wolves right now, because they've had a couple of tough fixtures as well, but they still managed to be in the talking points as well for in the positive outlook itself. So I think yeah, Wolves will definitely be one of the teams to look out for, and I think you should consider having those players in the team if you're actually thinking about wildcard right now.
Yeah.
And now talking about talking about a team which we probably want to talk, but maybe don't want to talk also because of the performances they've had. So, Saurabh, you want to fill us on why we want to talk about Arsenal so reluctantly?
Rohel's already laughing and speaking at the same time.
No, I would also be laughing the way Arsenal have performed and all the players have performed. It's definitely a big gamble to have Emil Smith Rowe, but that is only one of the players that I would pick from an Arsenal team right now, if need be. Because if you see, he is a regular starter, that is guaranteed, and plus his price is also below 5.5, which and ownership is below 5 as well. So that gives a big addition as a differential, because he will be playing the role of number 10, and he if you I have seen, I think other two of you must have also seen the heat map of ML Smith Rowe, and he plays a lot. Uh, not I would not say much of the center, but on the flanks rather. He plays on the flanks. But yeah, he made those. He makes those small runs into the boxes, which gives him the opportunity. Uh, I can say this because I've seen the initial two matches of Arsenal, and he did get the chances, but he was not able to convert it. Against City, everybody knows it was a riot by City, and Arsenal was thrashed 5-0. Arsenal did not do anything, but yeah, if you see goal attempts 4, chances created is pretty less for a number 10, but still I would say just as part of a differential also, or something to look out for if you're running short on money, this is the player to have in your team. Because Arsenal, if you see, have very not very easy, but yeah, relatively easy run of fixtures in comparison to the first 3 games that they had. So Norwich, I hope they don't lose. If they lose against Norwich at their home, God only knows what the fans will do at the Emirates Stadium. But yeah, Norwich, Burnley, Tottenham could be a tough fixture. Tottenham has had 3 clean sheets up till now. Brighton away game can be tricky. Crystal Palace, I think they are not in the element right now, and that should be an easy game for Arsenal, given that they pick up their performances and starting to just execute according to the game plan.
Yeah, I think looking at the watch list, sorry, looking at the fixtures for Arsenal, I think if Arsenal are not able to turn their fortunes around against a team like Norwich, who's also conceded a lot of goals right now, I think it's fair to say maybe this is the only fixture which I would actually think about having them in the team right now, and maybe to change it up as well, and maybe start leaving out stop talking about Arsenal team altogether, because I don't think then, just like Norwich, you probably don't want to have them in a squad where they're leaking 5 goals and not even scoring, not even getting the opportunity to score 1 goal as well.
Yeah.
So that's it. And I think maybe one of the other Arsenal players which you could look for in the forwards is actually also Obama. So maybe have him as well if you want to think about it. But yeah, I think Smith Rowe would be the way to go because of his price tag right now. So
Yeah, I mean, even and if defensively, if you want to look at it, then maybe even Kieran Tierney is a good option.
yeah,
Uh,
because of the way he plays and the amount of
yeah,
attacks he comes into, so yeah, I think it
yeah.
could be
I
a
think
good
that's
shout.
the only way I would go, because the way that Arsenal is defending, right, I would not probably go for a out and out center
A
back,
Ben
or
White,
a,
yeah.
yeah, who I would go for a person who is more, like creativity. In terms of creativity, that person is offering something, just rather than just actual clean sheets. So I'm not really convinced as of now.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, moving forward, I think we have a not a new segment. We have a segment where we want to talk about the deadline day transfer signings, and what kind of an impact they could have in the team as well. So I think obviously one of the biggest signings which we obviously have is Ronaldo. So looking at Ronaldo and talking about the transfer signings which happened in the in this transfer window, we also want to see what the rivals are like, what kind of potential rivals are for that position for that player. Like for instance, I mean, you can see for Ronaldo that um, Greenwood, Cavani, and Martial are the players because who would actually be likely be targeting him as a rival right now, because as Ole has already mentioned that he will be playing up front. He won't be playing at the wings. He will be the one who wants. He actually wants Ronaldo to play in the box, so he's going to play the role of a striker for now. So obviously his direct competition would be Cavani and Greenwood. Obviously, Martial, I don't see him as a competition right now because I think he goes down the pecking order for now. So if anyone right now actually has Martial in the team, I would actually suggest that you should drop him from the squad, because I don't see him becoming a regular starter anytime soon. In at least not in front of Cavani or Greenwood. So yeah, so Rishabh, you want to take over for the next players?
Yeah, for Dan James, I feel he. I don't think he's a rival for Rafinha. I definitely don't feel that. I think Rafinha has a nailed down position. Even if you see Harrison, I don't really feel like Harrison is also going to be a rival. He's still going to take some time to get gelled into the team. But what he offers is space, and I think Leeds want to play that way. I think they play really attacking football. So I think that in that way, Dan James would offer something in that. What I can see is maybe Rafinha moving to the center of the pitch and then Dan James playing on the right. That can happen. So we want to keep an eye on him. Obviously, ownership is at 0.2%. Don't see that increasing that to a lot in recent times. I think obviously Leeds United have a better, a lot more better players than Dan James at the moment. So keep an eye on him. I would not transfer him at this moment.
Okay. So the next player which we have is Emerson Royal, who's actually now joined Spurs. So so Saurav, you want to talk about him? Do you think he'll be actually a regular starter for now? Let's
I don't think he will be a regular starter because we all know English Premier League is difficult, and it will be difficult for him to settle in a new club. Also, given that he was just transferred 28 days back into Barcelona, and then Barcelona sold him again to Tottenham. It's difficult to settle into two new clubs in such a short span. Plus, I think Tanganga is playing pretty well. I don't think he will be replaced. And he's mostly a backup, and for the bigger games, if a cup games comes in or something, then Emerson Royal will come into play. Otherwise, I don't see him much of a starter, at least for initial couple of. If we talk about the next 4 or 5 fixtures, also we are not going to see Emerson Royal. That is for sure.
Okay. So yeah, and looking at his ownership, you can see that it was actually 0%. So I don't see him becoming a very big regular starter now. I'm not. I'm not. I'm for Ademola Lookman. Actually, I'm not very aware about his background as well. So I actually don't know if he's actually and who will actually be a regular starter in the team or now, because I think he is more of a backup to Barnes as of now, which I believe, because I don't see him starting ahead of Barnes. Rishabh, do you have any other
So
thoughts on that?
I think Harvey Barnes has been, they were a lot of FPL managers were impressed with him, or a lot even football pundits were impressed with him with his performances last season. I think he's not delivered up to the expectation that everyone had. It's just that again, and it's Leicester are missing their main players at the moment, so you never know, like that might have an impact as well. I really feel like Lookman had a great impact at Fulham. I think it was last season. So I think it's a great addition to a Leicester City where he will get that game time. I think he will develop under Brendan Rodgers as well. Yes, maybe people will hate me now that I'm praising Leicester City, but yes, I think Brendan Rodgers, I think, can have a good can have a good impact on Lookman. So again, these new arrivals that we're talking about, except I think Ronaldo, most of them are probably just to keep an eye on. So this is kind of like a watch list 2.0 for us. So just keep an eye on these new players, how they fit into the team, where they are playing. I don't see any of them starting in any of the games in the coming week. But yeah, I think in the next week or so we have the Carabao Cup. So I think most of them will start over in that fixture. So yeah, keep an eye on them, how they perform, where they are, and what's their statistics and how they are going to be slowly gelled into the team. Yeah, once you find out, then probably just take action on that. Yeah.
So yeah, then the next we have is actually Maxwell Cornet. Actually, he is one of the most impressive signings for Burnley. I think as a left back, I think he is one actually who might actually become a regular starter come actually in the next 2-3 weeks as well if he gets the opportunity. I think he has the potential to actually become a regular starter, even if he's not in the mix right now to be in that position for now. I think he can actually provide a lot more attacking prowess to Burnley, and they could actually have a big impact and in the future as well. So yeah, this is again another players who actually is not owned at all right now, and because not a lot of people know about him. But yeah, looking at his price tag itself, you should know that he's definitely a player who has had a lot of success in the domestic leagues as well. So I think that should prove it to you that actually he might actually become a big valuable impact and create a lot of impact in the Burnley squad, right?
Yeah, I think this is a signing that when I heard like Burnley were looking for them, I was very excited because I followed him through his Lyon careers, and his last game incidentally he had a red card for Lyon in the last game that he played for. So and he is actually a left back, but I think he is brought in as a midfielder in the. So if you see the FPL position, he's a midfielder, and he's probably going to play where Dwight McNeil plays actually. So what I'm going to see is Dwight McNeil probably shifting towards the center of the pitch, and him playing at the left wing back position or the left midfield position. I think he has and he has a lot of creativity to offer. I think which Burnley definitely lacks, because all of the games that we see throughout the career, so Burnley has been in the Premier League for almost 6-7 years now. They mostly win 1-0 games, and they don't have a lot of creativity. I think there is an odd game where they win 2-3-0 or somewhere, but most of the games are all usually 1-0. So yes, the defense is still intact. I think this player offers a lot of creativity going forward. I think you see the signings that they made, even in Aaron Lennon that they recently made. I think all these players, and again, I'm not getting into Lennon or anyone else, but you can see the signings that they've made. This is one of the most impressive signings because it gives you a lot of creativity up top.
Yeah, the next player which we have is again yeah, I don't think like me I know a lot about him. Maybe Rishabh, you do, so you take over the
No, no.
segment itself. Yeah,
So I think also Eduardo also, I think again, I think if I remember my stats correctly, no Crystal Palace player has scored more than I think 11, 12 goals, and then I think that was Christian Benteke, some way back. I think 1 year or 2 years ago. I think so. Definitely definitely another a watch list person. Keep an eye on him. I think he scored about 40 goals in the season at Celtic last season. So he's definitely one to keep an eye on. I think he can offer a lot of goals. The problem that I'm having right now is that yes, he has proved himself in Scotland. Now, where does he actually play? Because Ayu is definitely like Ayu's playing actually on the right wing. Benteke is playing up top. Now, does Benteke actually drop to the bench and Edouard starts? I'm not really sure about that. I think Benteke has his position nailed down, but I don't know what Patrice Evra, what is his name? Patrick Vieira is thinking about. So again, keep an eye on him. Fixtures obviously are not in favor of him. You see the fixtures, a lot of reds, and Tottenham I think is also not a grey. I think it's a definite red at the moment. So keep an eye on him. Let's see how he does. I'm definitely keeping an eye on him. I followed him on his in his Celtic careers. He's definitely one to keep an eye on. I think a lot of players, a lot of teams were looking for him in the last couple of seasons as well. And I think one of them was even, I think Brendan Rodgers was looking for him before he bought Patson Daka. Yeah, and I think the last player I think we had is 𝗕𝗲𝗓𝗪. I think West Ham were looking for number 10 for the longest time. I think they couldn't get a deal done between United and West Ham for Lingard. So I think they found 𝗕𝗲𝗓𝗪. I think he plays in CSK Moscow. Everton fans also might remember him 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I think he had a brief loan spell in the Premier League. So you see the rivals Fornals, Benrahma, Bowman, but I think the player that he's going to rival is probably Benrahma. So Benrahma has the position nailed down, so no need to worry on that. Like if Benrahma is going to start the next game or not, I think his start has definitely nailed his position. I'm more concerned when West Ham actually start in the Europa League. That's where I'm concerned as to where these players will actually go into, because where Mikel Antonio will play, where Benrahma will play, if and when, how will David Moyes rotate them? That's one of the options, or one of the things that to look out for, and where does 𝗕𝗲𝗓𝗪 actually fit at West Ham? Yeah.
Okay, and lastly, I think let's just take a couple of comments which we received. The first one was obviously from Abhishek, who wanted to know that should we remove Fernandes and Ings and replace with Gray and Cristiano Ronaldo. So, Saurabh, you want to answer that question?
Yes, I think that will be a apt replacement. I think with Fernandes and Ings replacing, I think you'll have approximately 20 million in your account, and I think CR7 again is 12.5, which is same as Fernandes. So I think if you want, you can go ahead with Gray, but I think in for like 7 or 8, you can get a good midfielder also. But Gray is definitely a good choice. We have recommended, if you have seen in the beginning of the video. CR7 is definitely going to be over Fernandes here, because everybody knows that he's going to be taking the penalties. He's going to be the one who is in the box always. And if you guys not have noticed yet, the ownership of Fernandes has already dropped from 58 to around 50 or 49, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
And,
right now I have the app open. It's 47 right now. So
47.
It's dropping by the minute.
Yeah, and Ronaldo is already, without having played a game, he's already at 13%, if I'm not wrong, 12 or 13. So
yeah, the live start says 16.7. So he's
16
already
again.
Yeah. So I mean, you can see that the like for like replacement is actually happening between Fernandes and Ronaldo, right?
Exactly.
The only thing that I would say about CR7, I think I heard today morning that CR7 is, I think, it's not why am I saying CR7? Cristiano Ronaldo is actually going to actually isolate, and he's not going to train until Friday, I guess. So he's only getting 1 day to train with his team. So that probably puts his position in jeopardy. So I don't really know if he's going to start that game. So just keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on the press conferences on Friday. See what Ole has to say about it, and then probably come back to it.
Yeah.
The next question which we have is from our loyal fan Kshitij Sharma. So he wants to know, should we actually take the wild card, and is it a wise move right now? So I would actually say this one thing about that is, if you actually have 2 transfers available for you, you can maybe go for a three transfers, go for a -4, and go for like a mini wildcard in some sorts of situation, because I think 3 should be apt enough for a team who is actually performing well. I know we've spoken to Kshitij, so we know he's actually doing really well in the first 3 weeks itself. So actually you probably don't need to take a wildcard if you if you have two transfers available. I think just go for maybe a -4 and help the other three members on the podcast catch up to you. So you can do that and give us an opportunity. And actually, I think that would be a wise option to go for right now. And other than that, I think if you observe the fixtures after the game week 7, a lot of the fixtures change, because I think United start with a tough string of fixtures at that point. Chelsea's fixtures intensity reduces. City's fixture becomes a little bit easier. Liverpool's also are not that tough at that point. So looking at that point, I think maybe you can, if you think you can hold off for another couple of weeks, and you believe that the team which you have in play right now can actually give you this points, which is giving you an average of 65 points, which I would say is a decent game week, I would believe. So if you have the confidence in your team, who've actually performed well in the past 3 weeks as well, I would say just stick with this and not take the wild card right now, because I think that after the second international break, which is in another 3 or 4 weeks, I think that would be the point when I would actually take the wild card if I have the option. Right now, I'm in favor of taking wild card, because I know I have more than 3 or 4 changes which I need to take right now.
Also, we have an episode coming day after tomorrow on Thursday, or actually Friday for all the Indian people, to talk about if it's actually a good decision to take the wild card or not. So yeah, stay tuned for
Yeah,
that.
so we will be probably be having a possible wild card substitution team, and maybe talk about that as well. The
Yeah,
other question which we have again from Kshitij is actually about, should we replace Trent with Robertson? I think it's a wise move. Uh,
I don't
saving
think
point
so.
five, saving
No,
point
I
five
don't
is
think so.
saving point five is not a bad option, because in the long run, when you look at the last 2 seasons itself, Robertson and Trent have been pretty neck and neck in terms of points which they've given. So having Robertson in your team is actually not going to harm you a lot in the long run itself. So if you want to have him in the long run, obviously you need to give him a little bit of time right now, because he's just coming back from the injury, and he actually needs some time to actually just start performing at the same level which he was earlier. And Trent already is performing at a has had brilliant first 3 weeks itself. I think you can stick with Trent for the next maybe a couple of weeks, and when you decide, maybe, yeah, okay, that's the time you want to take a wild card. Okay, I think then Robertson should be coming in, I believe.
Yeah, for me also, I think is better. For me, I think Trent is better to have in the team, just because he's on the free kicks also, and we have seen him scoring a good number of goals through free kicks. Also, he takes corners. Robertson does as well. But yeah, he plays a little. He plays very, very upfront down the pitch. So I don't know how much point five will help you save, but still, my option would be Trent Alexander-Arnold over Robertson anytime. It's
Yeah,
just that.
I think Trent's obviously, like, playing a lot more. Like, if you look at his positions, I think he's playing with a lot more flair, and the balls that he's providing, the crosses that he's providing into the box. Obviously, you've not seen Roberts. We cannot, like, you cannot say like Robertson would not provide that. I think Tsimikas. You can look at Tsimikas, who's done splendidly well in the first 2 weeks when we got him. So Robertson will obviously provide more, in terms of creativity, and the attacking process that we were just talking about. So I would still stick with Trent. I think he has moved up to 7.6. So maybe wait another couple of weeks. You get that 7.7, get that price rise, and then maybe sell him. So that's another option to look at. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's all we have, guys. I think stay tuned for the next episode tomorrow, which we'll be talking about the differential players. Thanks to all the people. Do remember to like, share, and subscribe to our videos. A special shout out again, which has been given from Kshitij, was for Saurabh, who wants him to be. Again, maybe tomorrow's episode is going to be solely will be focused by Saurabh. So okay, that's something which we'll cater that episode towards the fans. So if the fans want more screen time from Saurabh, then yeah, that's what you'll get. So stay tuned for tomorrow's episode where we'll be discussing about the game week 4 differentials. I think that is I think a key aspect to look out for because of the international break. I think you can actually see a lot of trends which could be changing. So stay tuned for that, and catch us tomorrow at the around the similar time which we went live today. So keep mark your calendars and watch out for the new episodes. So thank you guys and good night.
Good night.
Thank you.